up closer to $10 million for Saw 4. So we're really raising. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Saw 4. And I was looking at the box office statistics. But we go from Scream 1 with, as I said, a budget of about around $1 million to $1.5 million, and then we go to the Saw 3D. Holy Lord, 7 to 10. I was wrong. I misread that. $17 million budget. So we went up $16 million. That's how popular this Saw trilogy has become. That is how popular this has become and how everything has really risen. It went from a low-budget film to just a phenomenon. And you haven't seen Saw 3D yet, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and I watched it online, so I did not see the 3D effects. I heard they weren't all that great, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's what I heard from most of my friends at school. They were saying like, oh, the previews made the 3D seem like it was going to be absolutely amazing, heart-stopping, but then when they actually saw it, they was like, yeah, it wasn't too good.
Right. Well, that's a shame. That's really a shame. They could have done a better job with the 3D. I was a little nervous the first time I heard about 3D because Saw's so plot-driven and just such a classic. You know, I was a little iffy about it. But nevertheless, it wasn't great, okay? It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was good, okay? It was more like it fits in with the past few installments of Saw, but it's nothing shocking. And I'm not going to reveal anything. I'm not going to give any spoilers out. But it definitely, they said this would answer all unanswered questions, but there's a big question I still have, and when we review the movie later, when people have a chance to see it, I'll talk more in depth about this. But they left at least one big question unanswered for me personally. There was one big question left unanswered. Saw 8 next year. I hope they do it. They say they're not going to do it, but in my opinion, there was something, I'm not going to say what, but there was something that was not explained. In my opinion,
exactly.
It really needs to be explained. I mean, it's an individual, and this individual's involvement was not explained. It was made clear, but it was not explained, and that's all I'm going to say.
But see, that's the thing. Horror movies will always leave you wanting more. They'll always leave you in suspense, making you want to see what's going to happen in the next movie.
And it seems like, especially, you're right, especially if they're doing a second installment, and it seems like there's a lot more dark endings in horror movies today than, the typical happy ending. But what we're going to do now is we're going to talk a little bit about Paranormal Activity 2. And I have not seen that yet. I've seen some previews. I saw the original. No, it wasn't the scariest movie all time. That's a crock of shit. But it was okay. It wasn't bad. You saw Paranormal Activity 2. Don't give us any spoilers, but what did you think?
I'm going to be honest. The previews get you hyped up, and then when you actually see it, you have a second opinion.
So, do you think it's worth people going out and spending their hard-earned money to see?
I think, yeah. Because it's like what kills me with previews for horror movies is when they try, personally for me, I don't like it when horror movies try and do previews where they're showing the test audience reactions where everyone is like, or they're gasping, they're shaking, they're covering their eyes, and the movie's not even that scary. They've done it for Paranormal Activity 1. They've done it for See No Evil. They've done it for Paranormal Activity 2. The list is endless.
How would you compare number 2 to the original without giving any spoilers?
Number 2 was a little bit more interesting.
Okay. But it wasn't as good as you expected, I'm assuming? It
wasn't what I hoped, and I had a high expectation for it. It didn't meet that criteria.
And the first one, to me, they hyped it so much. I mean, you want to hype it up and get people, interested, but you don't want to,
basically lie to them.
Expectations. Yeah, you don't want to, put unrealistic expectations up there. And that's, in my opinion, what they did, and that can be a problem. So as you said, it was worth it before. You think it's worth it though for people to go out and see it?
Yeah, it's worth it for them to see the second one. But if they haven't seen the first one, then they won't understand how some stuff is getting tied in there.
Okay, so there's a definite connection there?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, there we go. We talked a little bit about Scream, Saw, and Paranormal Activity. What we're going to do now is I'm going to play a little clip here, and this is going to be our horror movie clip of the day. And we want you guys to call in and tell us what horror movie this is from. So I'm going to play a little clip here, and not you, because I know you probably know this, but we are going to have you callers call in, and someone is going to tell us where this quote comes from. So here is the quote. Let me play it for you here.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
That is our horror movie quote of the day. The guest call-in number right now is 1-619-393-6766. Once again, that is 1-619-393-6766. So be sure and call in right there to answer the question about what movie that quote is from. What we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we are going to hopefully have some callers in order to answer that question, and we're also going to review a movie we watched the other day, The Strangers. So we'll be right back with more gruesome gossip right after this.
We'll be right back with more gruesome gossip right after this.
Robert's residence.
Welcome home, Sydney. You're a survivor, aren't you, Sydney? What good's it to be a survivor if everyone close to you is dead? You can't save them. All you can do is watch.
Modern audiences have become savvy to the rules of the original set. I mean, there are still rules, but the rules have changed. And the kill's got to be, like, way more extreme. The unexpected is the new cliche. And virgins can die now. To be the new version, 2.0, the killer should be filming the murders. Yeah, it's the natural next step in psycho slasher innovation.
Go ahead if you have the guts.
Well, time for someone new to die.
These aren't just random killings.
There's something really scary about a guy with a knife who just snaps.
I hear you like horror movies.
It's for you.
You can't hide. This game has a new design. Fear, suffering, death. You haven't seen anything yet. All of my work has been leading to this.
This is your room, Hunter.
Hey, Jackal. Who is that?
It's Aunt Katie.
So weird. I totally thought we lost it.
Somebody broke in and trashed the house. Christy thought it was a ghost. I know you guys are freaked out, okay? And I'm going to take care of you guys.
What's your take on this whole ghost situation?
I think it's awesome. This is the freakiest thing that happened to me last night. This is the door closing by itself.
Paranormal Activity 2, rated R, opens Thursday night, October 21st at midnight.
And now, back to gruesome gossip right here on blogtalkradio.com.
All right, we are back here with Gruesome.